think about what is missing in your life and you talk to your friends about it and you put your attention and your energy on it in your telephone conversations and you go to sleep thinking about what is missing and you have this kind of an energy system going on for you, you will continue to have what you are thinking about show up in your life, and you'll see more and more and more of missingness continue to show up. You can't think about and put your energy on what is missing unless you want it to keep being that way in your life. So that's the first thing you want to shift. That's the first obstacle to reaching this state of what I call intention. Secondly, if you put your thoughts on what is, you will continue to attract what is into your life. Now, I'm going to suggest something very strange up here right now. I told you when it gets weird, that you have the ability to put your attention on an inner mantra that I have recorded in a CD called Meditations for Manifesting, that came to me from a teacher 2,300 years ago named Patanjali in India, who taught people at that time, when this is before the Middle Ages, this was like when people hadn't been out of caves too long, was teaching people how to levitate, and was teaching people how to bilocate, and was teaching people how to have the gift of fish and loaves 300 years before Jesus showed up on this planet. And his aphorisms of Patanjali are a big part of the spiritual solution to every problem. And what he suggested at that time is a meditation called japa. And this meditation is something where you take your attention, your inner energy, off of what is and onto what you intend to manifest, and you repeat the sound that is in the name of God as an inner mantra. And by repeating this sound, you attract the energy from outside of yourself, that is the source from which you emanated, to cooperate with you and literally collaborate with you to shift it into whatever it is that you intend to manifest. And you can do this with money. You can do this with getting pregnant if you haven't been able to do that. You can get it with selling your home. You can get it, and if you take a look at 300 years later, 400 years later, John the Baptist writes in the New Testament, the opening line of the of the book of John in the New Testament. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. As strange as it may sound to you, based upon the conditioning that you have had, just like Ivan Illich, the repetition of the sound as an inner mantra is a way of getting in the gap. And it is a way of, when you repeat this sound, attracting whatever energy, that dormant forces that are out there, into your life to have whatever you need show up. And all I can say to you is, I stand up here before you tonight from my heart telling you that it has always worked for me. It is a meditation practice. It is so powerful, and I can't tell you how many people have been practicing it, including Gary, who spoke to you here today. And there is absolutely no limit to what you can attract into your life simply by practicing it. I have put it on CD. I put it in Getting in the Gap. I teach it. I donate all of the proceeds from it to charities because I was asked to teach it, but to take no money for it. And I've been doing it for several years now. If your thoughts are on what is, let's just say you've got a disease process. Cancer, arthritis, the flu, a cold. If your thoughts are on, if you get a sniffle and your thoughts are on, this is in my nose today, but tomorrow it'll be in my throat. On Wednesday, it'll be down in my chest. On Thursday, I'll probably have a fever. I'm going to have to take Friday off. Now it's Monday morning. and you've got a sniffle, and in your mind you're taking Friday off with a fever. If this is how you have trained your mind to work, to put your attention on the circumstances of your life, self-actualizing people, Abraham Maslow was a great teacher of mine. I was blessed to know him. I was blessed to be one of his devotees. He died on the 14th of June, 1970, in the same hour that I walked across the stage at Cobo Hall in Detroit receiving my PhD. In the same hour. He passed the baton on. He said, I've taught self-actualization to the academic world. Now you take it to the masses. And Maslow said, self-actualizing people are distinguished from everybody else with this sentence: they must be what they can be. They must be what they can be. And one of those 10 secrets for success and inner peace is that you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. And know this, that your mind created everything in your life that you call a problem. And self-actualizing, highly functioning people who live at these extremely, extraordinarily high levels of consciousness never put their thoughts on what is if they don't like what is. Because if your thoughts are on what is, and you despise what is, and if you look at poor people, if you look at unsuccessful people, if you look at sickly people, if you look at tired people, if you look at addicted people, you will see people who put their attention constantly on their problems, on what is wrong, on what isn't working, on what I can't do, and so on. They'll tell you about it, they'll focus on it, and when your thoughts are on what is, and what you think about is what expands, you continue to attract more of what is into your life. When I had a practice, I had a woman who came to me who said, I just went through a divorce 7 months ago, and I've been dating, and I've dated 4 different men, and all 4 of them have used me as a sex object. And every single one of them called me up after the first date and were mistreating me, and they didn't have any respect for me, and that was the end of it. And she said, I'd like you to talk to all 4 of these men. And I said, there's only one common denominator here. You are attracting into your life what you are putting your attention on. It's called the Job effect. You can't think about what is missing, and you can't think and put your energy and talk about what is if you don't like what is. Can't do that unless you want more of that to show up. Third, you cannot put your attention or your thoughts or your energy on what always has been. If you put your thoughts or your energy on what always has been is what will continue to show up into your life. What always has been is the wake of a boat. Your life is a boat. It's heading up the river in that direction. And it's heading there at 40 knots. And you're standing on the stern, and you're looking down at the water, and as the boat goes in this direction, here you are looking down into the water, and what do you see? You see the wake. And what is the wake? The wake is the trail that is left behind. That's what the wake of your life is. That's what the wake of the boat is. And if you ask yourself the question, what's driving the boat? What's making this thing head in this direction? The answer is the present moment energy that is being generated by the engine, and nothing more is what's making the boat go in this direction. And then if you ask yourself this key question, is it possible for the wake to drive the boat? Can a trail that is left behind make a boat go in this direction? What's the answer? Impossible, isn't it? And so too is it impossible for the wake of your life, the trail that you've left behind, to be the reason why your life is going in this direction. It is not because of anything that has happened back here. That's an illusion that we live under. What has happened back here is a trail. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and picture this. You wake up feeling rested, your mind is clear, and you have a sense of inner peace and calm. As you go about your day, you're able to stay present, focused, and handle any challenges that come your way with grace and resilience. You feel alive, inspired, and in control of your thoughts and emotions. Does that sound like something you want in your life? Well, my friends, that state of mental well-being is not just a pipe dream, it's something that's within your reach if you make the conscious choice to take care of your mind every single day. You see, your mind is like a precious garden, and just like any garden, it needs consistent care and nurturing to thrive and bloom. Let me ask you this, if you had the most beautiful garden in your backyard, would you neglect it? Would you let the weeds take over and choke out the vibrant flowers? Of course not. You tend to it regularly, water it, prune it, and remove anything that could harm its growth and beauty. Well, that's exactly what you need to do with your mind. You have to be the gardener of your own thoughts, emotions, and mental landscape. You have to be intentional about cultivating a space that is fertile for growth, positivity, and inner peace. And the good news is you have all the tools you need within you. It's simply a matter of making the choice to use them. So let's start with the basics. Every morning before your feet even hit the floor, take a few deep breaths and set your intention for the day. What do you want to accomplish? How do you want to feel? By starting your day with a clear and positive mindset, you're setting the tone for the rest of your day. Then make it a habit to practice mindfulness throughout your day. Mindfulness is the art of being present in the moment, fully engaged with your surroundings and your thoughts. It's about observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment and letting them pass like clouds in the sky. Try incorporating mindfulness practices like meditation, deep breathing exercises, or even just taking a few moments to pause and be still throughout your day. Another powerful tool in your mental well-being toolkit is gratitude. When we focus on what we're grateful for, it shifts our perspective and allows us to appreciate the beauty and abundance in our lives. Start a gratitude journal or simply take a few moments each day to reflect on the things you're thankful for, big or small. And let's not forget about the importance of movement and exercise. When you move your body, endorphins are released, boosting your mood and reducing stress and anxiety. Find an activity you enjoy, whether it's yoga, running, dancing, or simply going for a brisk walk. Your mind and body are intrinsically connected, and taking care of one naturally supports the other. Now, in addition to these daily practices, it's also crucial that you nurture your connections with others. We are social beings, and our relationships play a significant role in our mental health. Take time to connect with loved ones, engage in meaningful conversations, and seek support when you need it. Having a strong support system can be a lifeline during challenging times. And remember, it's essential to unplug and recharge regularly. In our constantly connected world, it's easy to get caught up in the digital whirlwind. Set boundaries for yourself and make a conscious effort to disconnect from technology. Spend time in nature, read a book, or engage in a hobby that allows you to disconnect and recharge. Last but not least, practice self-compassion. We are often our own harshest critics, but it's time to break free from that cycle of self-judgment and embrace self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would extend to a dear friend. Remind yourself that you're human, and it's okay to make mistakes or have off days. My friends, taking care of your mind every day is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's an investment in your overall well-being, your happiness, and your ability to show up as the best version of yourself in every aspect of your life. I know it's not always easy. Life can throw curveballs our way, and sometimes it feels like we're just treading water, trying to keep our heads above the surface. But even on those days when it feels like an uphill battle, make a conscious effort to prioritize your mental health. It might be as simple as taking a few deep breaths or going for a short walk. Every little bit counts. And those small acts of self-care can make all the difference in your ability to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. Remember, you are the gardener of your own mind. You have the power to cultivate a space that is fertile for growth, positivity, and inner peace. It's a lifelong journey, but one that is worth embarking on every single day. So start today. Start tending to your mental garden and watch as it blossoms into a beautiful sanctuary that nourishes your soul and allows you to truly thrive. You owe it to yourself to take care of your mind every day. It's the greatest gift you can give yourself, and the ripple effects will be felt in every aspect of your life. So let's make a commitment right here, right now, to prioritize our mental well-being and to nurture our minds with the care and attention they deserve. Together, we can create a world where mental wellness is not just a luxury for the few, but a reality for all. A world where we're not just surviving, but truly thriving, living our lives with purpose, passion, and inner peace. It all starts by taking care of your mind every single day. You owe it to yourself to take care of your mind every day. It's the greatest gift you can give yourself, and the ripple effects will be felt in every aspect of your life. But let's go deeper into why this practice is so vital and how you can truly make it a way of life. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed, anxious, or simply not like yourself. Maybe it was a stressful day at work, a conflict with a loved one, or just a general sense of unease that you couldn't quite shake. In those moments, it can feel like your mind is working against you, spinning out of control with negative thoughts and emotions that only serve to amplify the problem. But what if you had the tools to navigate those challenging times with more ease and clarity? What if, instead of getting swept away by the current of negativity, you could anchor yourself in a sense of inner peace and resilience? That's the power of taking care of your mind. It's like having a life raft to keep you afloat when the waves of life threaten to pull you under. One of the most powerful tools in your mental well-being toolkit is mindfulness. We talked about it briefly earlier, but let's dive a little deeper. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment without judgment or getting caught up in the endless chatter of our minds. When you're truly present, you're not ruminating over the past or worrying about the future. You're simply experiencing the here and now with all of your senses. You're tuning into the sights, sounds, smells, and sensations around you and allowing yourself to be fully immersed in the experience. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds great in theory, but my mind is always racing. How can I possibly be present when I'm constantly bombarded with thoughts and distractions? The key is to approach mindfulness as a practice, something that you cultivate and strengthen over time, just like a muscle. It's not about stopping your thoughts altogether. That's nearly impossible, but rather about changing your relationship with them. When you practice mindfulness, you learn to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them. You see them as temporary visitors passing through your mind like clouds in the sky. You don't judge them or try to push them away. You simply acknowledge them and then gently bring your attention back to the present moment. This simple practice has profound effects on your mental well-being. It helps to reduce stress and anxiety, improve focus and concentration, and cultivate a sense of inner calm and clarity. And the best part, you can practice mindfulness anytime, anywhere, while washing the dishes, taking a shower, or even waiting in line at the grocery store. But mindfulness is just one piece of the puzzle. Another essential practice for nurturing your mental well-being is gratitude. When we take the time to appreciate the good in our lives, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, it shifts our perspective in a profound way. You see, our brains have a natural negativity bias. We tend to focus on and dwell on the negative experiences and overlook the positive. But when we consciously cultivate gratitude, we're training our minds to look for the beauty, the abundance, and the blessings in our lives. Think about it this way. Imagine you're walking through a garden and all you can see are the weeds and the wilted flowers. Your experience of that garden would be pretty bleak, right? But what if you shifted your focus and started to notice the vibrant blooms, the lush greenery, and the intricate details of each plant? Suddenly, that same garden would become a source of joy and wonder. That's the power of gratitude. It's like putting on a pair of rose-colored glasses that allow you to see the beauty and abundance that surrounds you, even in the midst of challenges or hardship. And the best part? Gratitude is a practice that doesn't cost a thing, and it can be done anywhere, at any time. Start a gratitude journal, or simply take a few moments each day to reflect on the things you're thankful for, big or small.
If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone may destroy overnight. That's particularly relevant in America, isn't it? Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you have anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it's all between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Every single person on the planet has within them the potential to be a healer. In order to make conscious contact with your inherent healing powers, you must first make the decision to be healed yourself. Reconnect to the disease-free, loving perfection from which you came. This is a succinct statement of what the self-healing process requires. The universal mind of intention knows precisely what you need in order to optimize your health. What you must do is notice your thoughts and your behaviors, which are creating resistance and interfering with healing, which is the flow of intentional energy. Recognizing your resistance is something that's entirely up to you. That source is never focused on what's wrong, what's missing, or even what's sickly. True healing takes you back to the source. Anything short of this connection is just a temporary fix. When you clean up the connecting link to your source, attractor patterns of energy are drawn to you. If you don't believe that this is possible, then you've created resistance to your intention to heal and to be healed. If you believe that it is possible but not for you, then you have more resistance. If you believe that you're being punished by the absence of health, that's also resistance. These inner thoughts about your ability to be healed play a dominant role in your physical experience. Becoming a healer by healing oneself involves another one of those imaginary somersaults into the inconceivable, where you land upright and balanced in your thoughts, face to face with your source. You realize, perhaps for the first time, that you and your source are one. When you let go of the ego mind, which has convinced you that you're separate from the power of intention, from thoughts of sickness to intentions of wellness, the decision to create is the decision to intend to create healing. You can't have thoughts of illness and anticipate your body falling victim to disease. Become aware of the thoughts you have that support the idea of sickness as something to be expected. Begin noticing the frequency of those thoughts. The more they occupy your mental landscape, the more resistance you're creating to realizing your intention. You know what those thoughts of resistance sound like. I can't do anything about this arthritis. It's the flu season. I feel okay now, but by the weekend it'll be in my chest and I'll have a fever. We live in a carcinogenic world. Everything is either fattening or filled with chemicals. I feel so tired all of the time. On and on and on these thoughts of resistance go. They're like huge barricades blocking the realization of your intentions. Notice the thoughts that represent a decision on your part to buy into the illness mentality of the huge profit-making drug companies and a healthcare industry that thrives on your fears. But you're divine. Remember, you're a piece of the universal mind of intention, and you don't have to think in these ways. You can think that you have the ability to raise your energy level even if all of the advertising around you points to a different conclusion. You can go within and hold an intention that says, I want to feel good. I intend to feel good. I intend to return to my source, and I refuse to allow any other thoughts of disorder or disease in. This is the beginning. You'll feel empowered by this unique experience. Then, in any given moment of not feeling well, choose thoughts of healing and feeling good. In that instant, feeling good takes over, if only for a few seconds. Illness is not a punishment. You don't have a need for healing because you were bad or ignorant or as retribution for past life offenses. You've taken on whatever you're experiencing for whatever lessons you need to learn on this journey, which is being orchestrated by the all-providing intelligence that we're calling intention. In an eternal universe, you must view yourself and all others in infinite terms. Infinite terms means that you have an infinite number of opportunities to show up in a material body to co-create anything. As you view the sickness of the mind and body that permeates your own life as well as the rest of humanity, try viewing it as part of the infinite nature of our world. If starvation, pestilence, or disease are a part of the perfection of the universe, then so is your intention to end these things a part of that same perfection. Now decide to stay with that intention, first in your own life, then in the lives of others. Your intention will match up with the intention of the universe, which knows nothing of egos and separation, and all thoughts of illness as punishment and karmic paybacks will cease to exist. You can't heal anyone until you allow yourself to be healed. Connect to a loving, kind, receptive to healing energy, which is the field that intended you here. Be willing to accept the fact that you're a part of the healing energy of all of life. The same force that heals a cut on your hand and grows the new skin to repair it permanently is both in your hand and in the universe as well. You are it. It is you. There's no separation. Be conscious of staying in contact with this healing energy because it's impossible to separate from it except in your ego-diminished thoughts. By raising your energy to a vibrational match with the field of intention, you're strengthening your immune system and increasing the production of well-being enzymes in the brain. A change in personality from being spiteful, pessimistic, angry, sullen, and disagreeable to one of passion, optimism, kindness, joy, and understanding is often the key when witnessing miraculous acts of spontaneous recovery from what we called fatalistic prognostications. Don't ask to be healed, ask to be restored to that perfection from which you emanated. Let nothing interfere with the intention that you have to heal and be healed. Discard all negativity that you encounter. Refuse to let in any energy that will weaken your body or your resolve. Convey this to others as well. Remember, you're not asking your source to heal you because this assumes health is missing from your life. Come to the source as whole and complete. Banish all thoughts of illness and know that by connecting back to this source, filling yourself with it and offering it to others, you become healing itself. I think the most important thing that you can get out of this is to understand that you are a choice-making individual. All of the conditions that you find yourself in your life, all of the circumstances of your life, all of the emotional reactions that you have to all of the people and all of the things and events and so on that take place in your life are really choices. And that's a very difficult thing for a lot of people to get because they're raised to believe that I can't help the way I feel. I have a right to be miserable when somebody treats me in a certain way. I can't help it. I've always been that way. It's just my nature. It's just the kind of person that I am. This waiter was directly from Italy and was serving this wonderful pasta and all of these things. He was a madman. He was a maniac. Every customer was getting him all upset. He would talk to the other head waiters and run back and forth, getting himself all worked up. Finally, I said, "Come on over here." "What are you doing this for?" "I do this all the time. You do therapy wherever you go, right?" I said, what are you taking this so seriously for? Are you doing a service or drinking spaghetti? It's no big deal. I said to him, before you're 50 years old, you're going to have a heart attack. Guaranteed, if you continue to behave that way every day. He said, "Look, what do you expect from me? I'm Italian." "Oh, well, that explains it," I said. I mean, his rationale for his behavior was, I can't do anything about it. I inherited it. I just got deficient anger genes. I've heard kids say that, when they're failing math. I can't help it. My father was lousy at math. My grandfather was. I inherited deficient math genes. It's just not my fault. I can't do anything about it. The fact is that anything that goes on inside of you that is immobilizing, that gets in your way, that keeps you from functioning in the ways that you would like to function, that stops you from reaching your goals, whatever they may be in your life, anything inside you, choose. It's yours. You own it all. And if you don't like anything about yourself, are you shy? Are you nervous? Are you afraid? Are you somebody who can't handle getting up in front of a group because it scares you? Are you someone who gets angry too much? Do you find yourself being manipulated and controlled by other people too often? Are you afraid to stand up for what you believe? Are you a terrible cook? Are you lousy at tennis? Haven't you got a backhand? Whatever it may be, it doesn't make any difference. You are the sum total of the choices that you make in your life. If you don't buy that, if you buy into another system, which a lot of psychologists will teach you, which is it's in your unconscious, you can't help it.